That original world always spoke to us. And so when we thought about what we'd really, really want to do next, it was, can you imagine if we got to do Fallout, you know? No one's been doing it for a long time. Is there any possibility? I can remember this coming back to my desk, and Todd Vaughn, our VP of development here at Bethesda, had left a yellow sticky note on my keyboard, and it said, Fallout's yours. That's all it said. I'll never forget that. I think I screamed and ran around the studio and like, hey, we're doing this. Because everyone had, you know, the team had heard about this might be a possibility, you know. It was fantastic. We're super, super excited.
It was a pretty big responsibility taking on such a beloved franchise, something that belonged to a different creative group. And frankly, I personally was pretty shocked at how well it was received. I think that speaks to how unique Fallout is, because even though it's a post-apocalyptic game, it's a dark world to spend time in. There's also so much character to it, and there's a quirkiness to it, an undertone of goofiness and humor that kind of lightens things a little bit, and I think people really sort of like that contrast.
The year that we showed Fallout 3 for the first time was actually the infamous E3 that was in Santa Monica. It wasn't in the convention center, it was at all the hotels in Santa Monica. And I remember Todd being really interested and wanting to talk to Tim Kaine and have Tim come out and see the game, because Tim was so influential in those first Fallout games. And we were like, you know, we need to make sure the Fallout guy likes the Fallout that we're making.
The previous games they're like of a previous generation, right? So they're isometric, they're turn-based, they're fantastic, perfect version of that for the time period that they came out. And we felt what we really like about video games is being able to put you in that environment.
I kind of felt like my baby had been adopted by another family. And it wasn't so much that I didn't like the family, it's just my baby was gonna be raised differently than how I would raise this baby.
I remember this very vividly, sitting at a table, asking Tim Kaine what he thought of the demo. We just saw it, and the whole time, you know, you're just crossing fingers and toes like, oh, please don't let him hate it.
And I just watched entranced because I got to watch the opening cinematic and then some gameplay, and it was Fallout in first person, and it was mesmerizing. It was immersive. It was incredible. And I was like, even when I saw the VAT system, I'm like, that is what our called shot system would be like if you converted it to a first person role-playing game. And it was great.
That was a big, like, watershed moment in some way. And wanting to do right by Fallout meant you go back to the folks who came up with this stuff and said, hey, here's what we're doing.
I especially loved when you actually got to leave the vault and the light came up and you saw the wasteland, and I was like, I'm seeing Fallout in 3D. It was an amazing experience for 2008.
We were fortunate when Fallout 3 came out that it did find a very, very large audience who really gravitated toward, oh, this is scratching that itch in an all new way, because look, you know, as technology and time moves on, you know, so do we, right? The way we view things, to have it really scratch that same itch the way something did in a previous generation, you often have to present that in all new ways.